Hey Leo, Mariah here. It's a pleasure to be reading for you as always. So let's just hop right into your reading. Let's see what's going on for my Leos. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. What does my Leos need to know? We got shadow coming out. What else does our Leos need to know? I'm hearing, it's a song. It's by Rihanna. It's called Same Old Mistakes. That's what's coming directly to my head. What else does our Leos need to know? Dedication. One more. Way too many, just one last one. I will take this one though. Magic. Cycles on the bottom of the deck. Ooh. Now I'm hearing that it's the color silver, but silver in spiritual terms has a different meaning. It talks about being flexible enough to be molded into something better, but still being strong enough to keep your core integrity intact. If I can go back just a little bit, because again, I heard the song Same Old Mistakes. I'm hearing the melody really loudly, Leo. This feels like I'm talking to a Leo, or I'm talking to somebody that has suffered or has endured in some way, some form of, and I'm saying this with extreme caution, some form of mental, emotional, psychological, physical, and I hope it's not physical, but I have to throw it in because it's also one of the categories of abuse. And whether this happened at a young age, whether this happened in your young adult years, or whether this is something you're currently going through, and I send my love and heart out to you. But it just, and I know this isn't going to resonate for everybody, but this is somebody that I feel like has been through some form of, and I'm hearing like, God, I don't want to go too far left into things, but I'm just hearing psychological torture in some odd aspect. If I can break this down into layman terms in just simple explanation, Leo, you have dealt with some form of heaviness around one of those areas in your life experiences. And I say the Same Old Mistakes, the song, because it feels like you've almost in your mind, or just even from the work that you may have done on yourself, that you've either worked through those issues, you may think that you've processed those issues, you may think that you may have digested them and you are at peace, or you understand what you've been through and you're not trying to allow it to shape you into something that's negative. You're trying to, or you have maybe taken that experience and used it as some form of empowerment or some form of way to conquer your life and take control over your life instead of it defining you or defining who you are. But when I hear Same Old Mistakes, it's like we're going into a situation, or we're entering into situations that we may have a new mindset based upon what we may have suffered or dealt with, but we still continue to get the same outcome or the same results based upon that specific form of trauma, that specific form of abuse. And I keep wanting to be cautious with that word because it's not even just for YouTube's sake, but just for being respectful of you, Leo. I'm just trying to be respectful of you. But it's like, because even though we think we may have worked through those things, we still end up making the same old mistakes. Even though we're trying to come at it from a different angle, a different mindset, a different perspective, we still keep getting into the same circumstances. And I have to tell you, Leo, you got to give, and I've always say this to you, but definitely give yourself some grace if you can. Just please try to give yourself some grace, because it's not easy. And a lot of times with a person that's been through some form of heaviness, I'm hearing the letter C. Now I'm hearing Cece's Pizza. I don't know. So I don't know if somebody's eating pizza, somebody likes pizza. Somebody's name begins with the letter C, as in like Charlie or Sierra. But either way, it's like you're going into new cycles or you're handling new situations, but we still get the repetitive outcome. And I'll tell you this too, Leo, because what this, and I don't want to tap too heavy on the specifics of what I'm feeling, because it wasn't warranted. I'm not making anybody out to be a victim or anything like that, but what this feels like, it just was not warranted. What you experienced, whether it was at a young age in your childhood or even as an adult the type of abuse was not warranted at all. And I know at times there are other people who may have endured, just based off the situation, things that may have been more severe and whatnot. And we have the tendency to look at things from a perspective of, well, I had it bad, but there's other people that have it worse. Or I know I went through it, but at least I got a roof over my head and I got food on the stove, or whatever the case may be. But I think that's unfair to you, and I think that's unfair to the situation at large, because no matter what, yes, your situation may have not been of whatever this is that you physically or mentally or psychologically endured. No, it may not be as bad as others, but no one can tell you how emotionally or psychologically how that impacted you and the damage that it's caused down the line. And this is why I keep getting the same old mistakes, Leo. And it's not your intention to end up in similar situations or repetitive patterns over and over again, or you keep seeing the same outcome or the same results. That's never your intention, to end up in those positions. But yet in some way or aspect, it's like almost asking spirit or your angels or the universe, why me? Why does this keep happening in this specific area of life? So for you, Leo, whatever that may be for you, whether that's your career, your love life, your finances, your family life, whether that is with your children, doesn't matter the arena or the avenue that it's happening in. What matters is that it's happening. Why do we keep getting this same result? It's like new setting, different face. New environment, same circumstances. And I gotta be cautious with what I say with this specifically. Not to go too out the way, but especially for my Leo that I'm talking to, especially if you were at the hands of SA, sexual, because I'm just starting to get pulled in that direction specifically. So if you dealt with sexual assault, I really send my love to you, and there's a psychological block here that's happening, and even a spiritual disconnect. It's almost like there's a disassociation from the spirit and the physical body. There's a big disassociation from the spirit and the physical body. And because of that disassociation that's here at play for you, Leo, it's like we may end up in new situations that we may feel like we're coming at or approaching a bit differently. But because of that trauma impact or that abuse that we may have dealt with, we're not consciously making different choices in the way that's best beneficial for us. And I think the point of this reading, because I have two more decks over here that I wanted to get into. I have two more decks, literally. One right here, and then I have my other one right over here that I wanted to get into, but I just feel like this is coming forward as more of an importance here for this Leo that I'm speaking to. But despite that being the case, you have to be aware, and I think that's what my spirit guides are telling me to tell you. If you are in a position where you keep getting the same results or the same outcomes, but yet you feel like you're going about things a bit differently, or you're trying to adjust or course correct so you can get a different outcome, but yet the same thing keeps happening, it's going to be very important for you at this time, Leo, and I mean at this time, to reevaluate and really understand the linking cause between the outcomes you keep getting and how does that form of experience, right? How does that link up and why that keeps happening? There's an association to that. And I guess I'm just here to make you aware of this, or just to bring it to the forefront with this reading. Because you do have the ability, Leo, to really make changes or strides, not because physically we keep getting the same results, but if we can go back and pull back the layers as to why that situation may be playing a factor into the outcome, then we can really on a deeper level understand why circumstances may not be benefiting us or coming out to the result that we're looking for, yielding the results that we're looking for. And it just feels like the people that are with you, not in your day-to-day life, but I'm talking about your angels, your spirit guides, the people that are walking with you on a day-to-day basis, the people that are hovering over you on a day-to-day basis. It's like you're protected and you know that you're protected. So I'm not telling you anything. You don't know anything that's new. But it just feels like they're trying to hold up this mirror to you. Like, hey, Leo, listen, if you keep getting these same results, look at the root cause of why this is here. And let's really address it, and let's start linking. When we start to get the same results, let's link it back to the root as to why we keep getting the same results. And it feels like I'm talking to you where you've experienced the hands of some form of traumatic situation. And I do send my love and my heart out to you. I just wanted to do a normal read. And I always do, but Spirit always has me going and doing much more. So, Leo, I'm going to leave this here for you. I guess this is just more of an awareness for your month of October, especially in the month of October, if you end up getting the same result or the same outcome when you're expecting something different or you're expecting a different outcome in a situation, why you may not be getting that outcome that you may be looking for, or why you keep getting the same results, right? Back to same old mistakes. So, Leo, I love you. I appreciate you, and this was an honor to read for you. I thank you so much. Bye.